Welcome to Learn English Fast.
Speak English with confidence.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the English Learning Podcast. I'm your host, Henry, and today we're going to talk about one of my favorite ways to learn and improve English. Learning English with podcasts. Podcasts are everywhere these days. You can listen to them while walking, driving, cooking, or even relaxing before bed. And the best part is, you don't need a classroom, a book, or even a teacher. You just need your phone and your ears. When I started using podcasts to learn English, it completely changed the way I studied. I realized that I could learn real English, the kind that native speakers actually use, just by listening every day. So, in today's episode, I'll share with you why podcasts are such a powerful tool, how to use them the right way, and how they can help you improve your listening, speaking, and thinking in English. If you've ever wondered how to use podcasts to become more fluent, this episode will give you everything you need to know, step by step. So, get comfortable, maybe grab your earphones, and let's dive into today's topic: how to learn English with podcasts. So, why are podcasts such a great way to learn English? Well, first of all, podcasts are real and natural. When you listen to podcasts, you hear how people actually speak in everyday life, not just textbook sentences. You get to hear real pronunciation, real rhythm, and real expressions. This helps you understand English the way native speakers use it. Second, podcasts are easy to use anywhere. You don't need to sit at a desk or open a book. You can listen while you walk, cook, clean, or even before sleeping. It's like having an English lesson in your pocket. Third, you can choose topics you enjoy. There are podcasts about everything: travel, stories, motivation, news, or language learning. When you listen to something you love, learning feels fun and natural. You don't even feel like you're studying. Another great thing is that podcasts help you hear different accents and voices. You can listen to people from the US, the UK, Australia, and many other countries. This makes your ears stronger and helps you understand English in real-world situations. And finally, podcasts train your brain to think in English. When you listen every day, your brain starts to understand words and phrases faster, without translation. You begin to connect ideas directly to English sounds and meanings. So, podcasts are not just listening practice. They're a simple and powerful way to bring English into your daily life. Let me tell you a little story about how I started learning English with podcasts, and how it changed everything for me. When I was learning English, I used to spend hours studying grammar books and memorizing word lists. I knew the rules. I knew many words. But when it came to listening and speaking, I always struggled. Native speakers talked too fast. I couldn't catch every word. And even when I understood, it took me time to translate everything in my head before I could answer. One day, I was listening to a conversation between two English speakers. I understood almost nothing. They were using simple words, but they spoke quickly and naturally. That moment was my turning point. I realized that my problem wasn't grammar. It was listening practice. I needed to train my ears to understand real English, not just textbook English. That's when I found podcasts. At first, I started with short English learning podcasts, and I listened every day, on the bus, while walking, or before going to bed. Slowly, I started to understand more. After a few weeks, I noticed something amazing. I could follow conversations without translating. I could even start to think in English. That's when I knew podcasts weren't just something to listen to. They were my teacher, my classroom, and my friend that helped me learn English anywhere, anytime. Before we talk more about learning with podcasts, let's take a moment to understand something very important: what it really means to think in English. Many English learners hear this phrase, think in English, but they're not always sure what it means. Thinking in English doesn't mean speaking fast or using big, difficult words. It simply means your brain starts using English naturally, without translation. Let me give you an example. Imagine you see a cat. If you first think of the word cat in your own language and then translate it to English, that's not thinking in English. But if you see the cat and the word cat just appears in your mind, that's thinking in English. It's about connecting ideas directly to English words, not going through your native language first. Now, how does this connect to podcasts? When you listen to podcasts regularly, your brain hears real English sounds, phrases, and sentences again and again. Slowly, you stop translating. You start to understand the meaning directly in English. And that's when real fluency begins. So, thinking in English isn't something that happens overnight. It's something you build little by little. And podcasts are one of the best tools to help you reach that point. Now, let's talk about how I actually trained my brain to think in English. It didn't happen by magic. It took time, consistency, and the right methods. And honestly, one of the best tools that helped me was listening to English podcasts every single day. At first, I didn't understand everything. Sometimes, I only caught a few words. But I kept listening. I didn't give up. Because even if I didn't understand every single word, my brain was learning. It was training itself to recognize English sounds, rhythm, and patterns. Here's exactly what I did step by step. Step 1. I started small. I began with short podcasts, maybe 5 or 10 minutes long. They were slow and clear, made for English learners. This helped me build confidence and stay motivated. Step 2. I listened every day. I made it a habit. Every morning, while brushing my teeth or having breakfast, I listened to a podcast episode. Sometimes, I listened again during my walk or before bed. I didn't study the whole time. I just listened. Step 3. I shadowed the speaker. Shadowing means repeating what the speaker says right after you hear it. This helped me practice pronunciation, rhythm, and natural speaking patterns. When I shadowed, I didn't translate. I focused on copying how the speaker used English. Step 4. I used podcasts as conversation starters. After listening, I talked to myself about what I heard. For example, if the podcast was about daily routines, I said things like, "Today, I woke up early. I made coffee. Then I listened to a podcast." This helped me connect English words with my own life. Step 5. I accepted mistakes. At first, I often made grammar mistakes or forgot words. But I didn't stop. The goal wasn't to be perfect. It was to train my brain to think naturally in English. After a few months, something amazing happened. I realized I was no longer translating in my head. When I wanted to say something, the English words came out automatically. That's when I knew my brain was finally thinking in English. So, if you want to train your brain too, follow the same path. Start small, listen daily, repeat out loud, talk to yourself, and don't worry about mistakes. Podcasts can really change the way your brain learns English if you stay consistent. Now, let's talk about some common mistakes English learners make when they try to learn with podcasts or train their brain to think in English. The first mistake is trying to understand every single word. Many learners stop the audio again and again to check the meaning of each word. But that's not the best way to learn. You don't need to understand everything. You just need to understand the main idea. If you focus too much on every word, you lose the flow of English. The second mistake is listening passively. Some learners play a podcast in the background while doing other things but never really focus. To learn effectively, you need active listening. Listen carefully, repeat after the speaker, and think about what they're saying. The third mistake is not repeating or shadowing. Just listening is good, but repeating out loud is what really helps your brain to remember and speak naturally. If you don't speak, your brain only practices understanding, not communication. And finally, the fourth mistake is giving up too soon. Some learners say, "It's too hard," or "I don't understand anything," and they stop after a few days. But remember, progress takes time. Even if you only understand 50% today, that's okay. In a few weeks, you'll understand 70%, then 90%. So, avoid these common mistakes. Don't chase perfection, stay consistent, and keep practicing. The key is not to be perfect. The key is to keep going. Let me share my simple daily routine that helped me learn English with podcasts and start thinking in English. Every morning, I started my day with a short 10-minute podcast. While listening, I didn't stop to translate. I just focused on understanding the main ideas. After that, I chose one part I liked and repeated it out loud. This is my shadowing practice. It helped me improve my pronunciation and speaking rhythm. Later in the day, maybe during a walk or before bed, I listened to another podcast, just for fun. I didn't study it like a lesson. I just enjoyed listening and let my brain absorb the language naturally. That's it. Simple, right? Just 20 or 30 minutes a day. But I did it every single day. And that made a huge difference. The secret is not studying harder. It's staying consistent and making English a part of your daily life. Before we finish today's episode, I want to remind you of something important. Learning English is not about being perfect. It's about making progress every day. Listening to podcasts is one of the easiest and most natural ways to do that. Even if you don't understand everything at first, keep going. Your brain is learning, even when you don't notice it. Step by step, word by word, you'll start to think, understand, and speak in English naturally. So don't give up. Keep listening, keep practicing, and enjoy the journey. Because every time you press play on a podcast, you're one step closer to fluency.